This is gonna have to do. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Happy holidays are over season. Happy January. Personally, I'm someone who loves January. I love how peaceful and quiet January is. I love all the little mundane things that we just do in our routine day to day. I just love the simplicity of January. The streets are quieter, shops are quieter. You can move around on the street without feeling like a sardine. Sales are still going on after Christmas. No one is just going crazy like panicked. Happy that season. I made myself a cup of tea in my new mug. Tell me how beautiful my new mug is. First of all, the colors. This is my favorite mug at the moment, my hyperfixation. I got it from Anthropology and I feel like she's so chic. I love her. I'm drinking some jasmine tea. Fun fact, if you care at all, but you're in my channel so you care. Jasmine green tea is my favorite tea. I'm not a tea drinker. I don't like tea in general, but this tea is the only tea I can drink with pleasure. You're not here for that though, right? You're here because you want to know what my favorite books of 2026 were. And this is the year that I've explored genres. I got into different genres and I did it with pleasure. It did not feel like a task. I read different books that I actually really enjoyed. Some new authors. You can tell my modern classics in here are expanding and I'm actually reading them. Life is good. I'm in a reading high. I had a really good year. I do want to point out that quite a few of those are romances. I'm still a romance reader at heart. But right now I'm at a point that I'm exploring a lot of different things. For example, these are the two books that I bought today. In this channel we like a lot of different genres. So let's start. These are my 10 favorite books of 2025 and this was actually kind of easy to narrow down. I'm still on the fence about number 1 and number 2. I still don't know which one is gonna take the crown, but we might have a tie. I know I hate ties too, but we'll see. So I have a little reading tracker right here and not a lot have been 5 stars. I had some really good reads, explored some really good books and authors. So let's get into it. At number 10 we have Bunny by Awad. This has been sat on my shelf for a little over 2 years, I want to say, and I don't know what possessed me to pick this up, but I did. I'm so glad I did. I know this book has a lot of haters and I know this book has a lot of lovers. I loved this book. It was so weird, so different from anything I've ever read. It was definitely a page turner for me. It was one of those books that I read and I was just enamored all the way through. I was shocked, I was disgusted, and I loved it. It's about a girl, Sam, which Sam I don't know if I really like. You'll figure out some things about Sam as you go through and about the story, but she is where she's at a university and she joins this cult with all the bunnies. The bunnies are the girls called bunnies. They make Sam do different things, and one of the things that they do in this cult is, I think they sacrifice bunnies and turn them into men. It's been a while since I read it. I don't really remember much, but the end absolutely shocked me. I did not expect that, and there is actually no ending to it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, there's an open ending, so you don't really know what happened. There's so many theories online and I think that's awesome. And I do have the sequel slash prequel to that just came out this year, We Love You Bunny. Now about this one, I did get to page 85 and I decided to take a break from this. It wasn't really, you know, getting the attention that it deserved. So she is a soft DNF for now, but she'll be picked up again. If you want something weird, bunny, something that you'll just say throughout your journey reading this, what the actual just read Bunny. It is so funny, kind of horror-y but not really horror-y. I loved it. For someone that doesn't really read horror and I'm easily scared, I love this. On number 9 we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I know it took me a good few years to read this. I know everyone's read it, so I'm not really gonna go into much detail about this. I loved this book. I loved Nora. What Emily Henry does perfectly in my eyes is she creates that perfect American summer. And from someone that doesn't live in America but would love to, if situations were different, that American summer I want to experience. I wanna be in like a lake with a big house. So I want to be in the Hamptons in a big house. I just want to experience that, and I feel like Emily Henry does this perfectly. You can envision the small beach towns so vividly. She is amazing, and that's why she's one of my favorite like spring summer authors, because I feel like I am there with the characters. She does it beautifully. Nora is a work obsessed woman in New York, mentions in New York. If you need to know anything about me, is my obsession with New York. I think she's like an editor in a company, like in a book company. It's been a while since I read this too. She meets her rival Charlie. Is Charlie? Do I know anything about this book? Somehow they end up in the same little beach town for the summer for different reasons that you'll discover throughout the story, and somehow they keep bumping into each other. They just keep getting thrown together in situations, and I love it. And what I love about this is Nora learns to let go. It is so hard for her to stop working and stop being in her routine. I love how she learns to sort of let go. It's okay to just listen to your body and to relax and to have fun without feeling guilty. It is so hard for us today to do things like this, to learn how to relax and not feel constantly on edge that we need to be doing things and go all the time. It has a really important message as to enjoy the now. Be in the now. Enjoy the present, because you're never going to get the present back again. I loved it so much. Such an easy read. Oh, beautiful. Now I'm on the fence about number 8 and 7, but I'll explain what's going on. On number 8, one of my favorite authors of 2025, because I've discovered her in 2025. I mean, I've read my first book of that author in 2025. That is Shirley Jackson. If you've been here a while, you know my obsession with Shirley Jackson. I've only read 3 of her books this year, I believe, and the more I read of her work, the more I fall in love with her. The way that she writes and creates a character, it's so unique, and see how amazing her brain is and how she portrays her own personality into her characters, and you can actually kind of sense and see a lot about her. That's what I love about it. She doesn't, it just feels like she doesn't give a she just goes for it. In my eyes, if she could be anything, she would just be alone in a secluded house somewhere that no one will annoy her, by herself, writing all day. This is what I see Shirley Jackson as through her characters, obviously, because I didn't know her. That kind of gives the same vibes as We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Mary-Kat and her sister Constance would live with their uncle in a big house somewhere, you know, secluded, somewhere that not a lot of people usually go. Mary-Kat hates going to town because people don't like this family. There has been a poisoning incident years ago that only Mary-Kat, her sister, and their uncle survived. The entire of the family is now dead. People always accuse some members of the family for that poisoning, and the family loves to play along with those rumors. They have different guests in the house, and they entertain the idea that it might have been some of them that actually poisoned the entire family. We still don't know who that might be, but they just play along with it. They're just having their fun, but at the same time they like being by themselves in the safety of their own home, until we get introduced a horrible character that I absolutely despise. But at the end of the day, is you and the love of your sister against the world. I love this book. It was so short but so sharp, to the point. It didn't feel like it was only 160 pages. It felt like so much story was in these pages. It was beautiful, and I recommend you to read Shirley Jackson if you haven't. People say she's like a horror author. I don't think her books are really scary. I think they're kind of eerie, kind of disturbing, which I like. And the other ones I've read by her this year are Haunting of Hill House and The Bird's Nest. They're very different to each other, but equally disturbing, I'd say. Now I'm really excited about my next reads by her, which is Hang Saman and The Sundial. I also really want to read The Road Through the Wall, but I'm gonna prioritize these two first. And I do have some collections of short stories by her as well, which is The Lottery and Other Stories. I think The Lottery is the one that made her famous because she published it in the New York Times, I want to say. And people went crazy. People were just sending her death threats because her stories were so wicked for the time, and I love that. And also have The Demon, oh so right, The Demon Lover by the Penguin Archives collection, which I love. I am on a journey with her and I'm absolutely loving it. Number 7, One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. This was, I think, my first Carly Fortune book. This came out this year. The minute it came out, I got it and I read it and I loved it. One thing I'm gonna say though is, because I read this and I read Book Lovers right after this, it felt like the same story but different. Obviously Book Lovers by Emily Henry came out first, so I don't know if she got inspo from Book Lovers, because we have a lot of the same themes. Alice, again, is a work-obsessed woman living in the city. This is taking place in Canada though, and then she decides to, you know, take a break. She's going through a breakup, I believe, so she goes to the lake house with her grandma, which I love the aspect of going with your grandma. And she meets Charlie. Why I like this, I think, a little bit better than Book Lovers is, first of all, I think I can remember more of this book. I don't know why. I think it's because she kind of knew Charlie when they were kids, and now she meets him again after all these years, and they kind of like starting to, you know, doing things together, and like it's more adventurous in the sense that Charlie is not a rival like the other Charlie, by the way, have the same names, in Book Lovers was. They had a bit more of a tension between them, which I love, but in this one they were more friends, you know, getting along. He was trying to show her, you know, different things, how we can have fun in the summer. That's what Alice wants to do. She wants to start having fun again, and that's what Charlie is doing for her. And I think it's just beautiful the way that she wrote it. I think it's gorgeous. I loved it. It was so heartwarming. It was such a perfect companion for spring, summertime, you know, when you're anticipating the summer vibes. They're just there and you're reading this and it all just clicks. You're under a flow state. It was beautiful reading experience. Love it. And I'm excited to read more Carly Fortune. It's just the whole like Canadian lake type of vibes. Loved it. It's number 6, Problematic Summer Romance, and I feel like that's the last cutesy little romance that I have here, by Elle Hazelwood. This again came out this year. Enamored by this. To be fair, these are quite tight, so don't know which place they each get, but they're very close. If you read Not in Love by Elle Hazelwood, this is about Eli's sister and his best friend from that book, brother's best friend technically, and I love that. I love it because there is an age gap. There is an age gap there, and I love this. I love an age gap done well. Oh my god, if an age gap is done well, it hits. It hits. Just, they start as really good friends, you know. They start talking when Maya moves abroad, and she kind of like, you know, confides to a friend because she's very lonely there. I think there was kind of a betrayal between her best friend and her boyfriend at the time, and she confides to Connor. Connor is obviously a lot older, not a lot older, I feel like he's in his late 30s. Maya is only like early 20s. Connor's got his own company, you know, he's got his own thing going on, okay? He's an adult. I'm not saying that Maya isn't, it's just, you know, oh, they start talking every night on the phone. They start messaging a lot and they form a kind of a friendship. But obviously he's like, you are my best friend's sister and I can, like, you know, make a move on you because that might, you know, fuck things up. They fall. Oh, I can't spoil it. I can't spoil it, but for some reason they have to stay in the same villa in Italy for a wedding, and there is a lot of tension. There's a lot of, you know, fighting. How dare you type. Oh, anyway, it's so good. It's full of tension. It's done beautifully. I think this is my, no, I don't think, I know that this is my favorite Ali Hazelwood romance to this date. Now we're getting to the creme de la creme of books. Now we're getting to the top 5, and this top 5 has been just, I'm on the fence on how to categorize this top 5 because I'm really close to every single one of these books. I have different feelings for all of them. On number 5, I finally read it. Finally. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I knew I needed to take time to read this book. I knew I needed to slow down and to take my time and savor this book because it's one of a lifetime experiences and I didn't want to rush it. And it's not a book to be rushed, okay? You need to take your time with reading this. A lot of the times you might think it's a little bit slower, not a lot happening, so you just need to savor the vibes of this book. This book is gonna give you the vibes, okay? There is a strong plot. There isn't a wow or shock factor every other page. You just need to take it page by page and enjoy the journey. This is my best advice for this book. And this is exactly what I did, and I loved it. I did not feel bored at all. Not a single page that I read bored me. It was beautiful. I was there with them. I was there with a toxic family. Me and my toxic friends. Oh, when I finished this, it was like saying goodbye to a toxic family. And I felt it. I felt the weight of this story on me. It's so beautifully written. I don't know what to say, but you follow this group of students in university, and the minute that our main character joins this group of people that he thinks are all so mysterious, and they all have a Greek class that no one can get in, but somehow our main character gets in and becomes a member of something so exclusive for probably the first time in his life. He starts to, I feel like they all start to lose it a little bit. There's a murder that happens, which you obviously find out from the very first page. It's the who's done it, why they've done it, and the toll that this murder takes on this group of people, and how you see it crumbling bit by bit every single day. It just will give you an edge. It's beautifully written. It's, if you're intimidated by the size or the writing because it's written in the 90s, I believe, don't. It's so easy to get through, so easy to understand. You're just there, you're living the life of a university student in that group. You feel like you're part of them. Wow, I had a lot to say about this book. Love this book. On number 4, The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Oh my god, what can I say about this book? I did not expect to like it so much. We have, what's her name? Phoebe. She's married to someone, we don't really care about him. Kind of unhappy marriage. She goes to a inn by the beach. You'll find out why she goes there. I can't spoil it for you because when I read it I was like, that inn was meant to be fully booked for this wedding party, those wedding people, and somehow miraculously Phoebe got a reservation. The bride was not happy about it, and there is a little bit of a meet the bride situation that wasn't very pleasant for either of them. A lot goes down. I can't spoil it for you. It's such a beautiful book. Read the trigger warnings because that's what people say about this book, but for me it was fine. It does have a bit of a romance in there, but it's not, in my eyes, it's not a romance book. It's a fiction book with maybe a little bit of romance. I love this so much, the way it spoke to me, the message behind this book, how the universe will send you just different people at just very random times of your life when you need it the most, when you don't know that you need it the most, but people that you'll meet at crucial times of your life, and how these people can change your life. It's Phoebe's journey through life with all its difficulties and all the bitterness and all the betrayals. It's beautiful. It's just such a beautiful book. Maybe I will reread it one day. I don't really reread books. I've only read once book in my life, and that was Daisy Jones and Six, and I will probably reread that. I feel like it's calling for a reread. Amazing. On number 3, we have The Zodiac Academy, Cursed Fates. I am slowly making my way through the Zodiac Academy saga. We have like about a million books. This was book number 5, and for me to be that knee deep into a book series actually says something. I love this fantasy series so much. I get, you know, the hate that it gets, the love that it gets, and I really don't care. I love it. It's so entertaining to me. I can't really say much about book 5 because we're so deep into the series, but we have these 2 twin sisters that they discovered that they are actually heiresses to a throne in a whole different universe in Solaria, which is a different universe of Fae. So you don't have any normal people, any mortal people there. They get transported to that universe, and of course, because they come in now in the present while they're, you know, teenagers or like towards adulthood, everybody hates them because they've already have 4 different men that they're set to take the throne, 4 different heirs that they're set to take the throne. But these 2 women come in and it just throws everything off. The balance is off, and it just shows their journey through Zodiac Academy. Read the trigger warnings because there are quite a few different trigger warnings, but the way that the series unfolds, as the more we go on, the more stressed and anxious I am. I'm feeling all the feels. Book number 5 for me was the best one so far. The tension, the heartbreak, the involvement to the story, like how the story goes and how you find out things about people and how different things come in that makes you so stressed. I think it's just beautiful if a book makes you feel all those emotions. But the tension of this book, I've not read tension like this since probably Fourth Wing, and that was like years and years ago, and I'm welcoming it. This is what made me a reader. These types of books is what made me a reader, and I welcome it to feel like this again, because I don't have that feeling that much anymore, because either the stories feel repetitive or my brain is a little bit more grown now that is not as easily entertained, and I welcome it. That's all I'm gonna say. On number 2, I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I still don't know which one is number 2 and which was number 1. I'm gonna try though. On number 2, we have The Favorites by Layne Fargo. I was in the most disgusting major reading slump of my life in the beginning of the year, and I read this book right here, and it pulled me out, sucked me out like that. This has tension, betrayal, competitiveness. It has it all. I was audibly gasping throughout this entirety of this book, and it was a beautiful feeling. We have Katerina and Heath, childhood sweetheart. He literally mastered an entire Olympic sport just to spend time with her. Are you fucking kidding me? Her dream and only dream is to be an ice skater, the best of the best, and he quite literally mastered that. We have them competing with a different couple, their biggest rivals, their journey to the top, to the fame, and all its, you know, positives and all the downsides. What are you willing to give up in order to become the best? That is the question. And we have very questionable choices of both of these people. A lot of betrayal, gut-wrenching Oh, it was just beautiful. Just give me like tension filled sports romances, and I feel like nothing hits quite like them, in my opinion. To get to the top, what are you willing to do? And my number one book of 2025, which I kind of knew it was going to be the number one when I finished reading it, The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. This cover, first of all, is one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen in my life. The way that this book spoke to me, it felt like it was a little bit too close to home. We have Georgia. She's the estranged daughter. She is the odd one out. She's the one that lives abroad, away from her very religious small town family. You know, she is not born to please people, especially her very religious family, and the family doesn't like that. A scandal happens when she was still, you know, a teenager towards, you know, adulthood, and her very Christian mother does not like that, so she decides to ship her off to London until an incident happens, until her father dies. It's not a spoiler, it's right there on the blurb. And she needs to go back to South Carolina, very small religious town, and just it's not very pleasant. She has a gay brother that, once again, small religious town, not very accepting of, you know, different people, LGBTQ people. That brother is the only person that she's actually close to. So they both go to that little small town. Her mother and her sister are quite literally the most terrible people ever, in my opinion, especially her sister. This book made me angry, this book made me sad, this book made me happy. This book gave me every single feeling, and when a book can make me so angry, I appreciate it. It's such a special feeling. Amongst all these events, we also meet Sam, who is her brother's sponsor, because her brother is an alcoholic. It's just very complicated, and it's beautiful, and family dynamic gets just, you know, blown out the window, blown apart, falling down like little confetti. It's the family saga again, the family drama saga that I love in a book. This had it all. I was enraged by how people treated Georgia and her brother in this family, because they are different, they don't really fit in that little small town, and I was enraged. I felt it all, and the things that get revealed throughout this story, and how it kind of backfires to the family, and how nothing is ever as it seems to be. Sometimes it all is just an act, it's just a front, and you never know what's going behind the scenes, and you'll find out and you'll see why certain behaviors were the way they were. Oh, I could talk about this book for hours. What it's like to be different in your own home, in your own town. What it's like to be the odd one out because you don't agree or believe the same beliefs or opinions that these people have. It hits very hard to the soul. I felt everything while reading this book, and I would read it again. Such a beautiful book. I forgot to mention that you do learn a lot about their father's inheritance, hence the title. Conditions of Will, the conditions of the heart, you know, type of I can't say too much, I've already said enough. But that was it. I feel like we had such a successful 2025, and I'm sensing an even more successful 2026. I have been reading a lot more fiction and older fiction that I've actually been enjoying a lot. I am branching out, I'm reading different books and different authors, and I am loving it. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in my next one, you beautiful hot people. Exactly.